It's been nearly 3 years since George Floyd was murdered by a Minneapolis police officer and the civil unrest that followed. Since May of 2020, the spot the 3rd Precinct once sat has been shuttered and surrounded by barbed wire, its future still hanging in the balance. A community group made its stance this morning. Here's more.
And since the summer of 2020, residents have consistently reached out to us asking about the future of the building sitting at Lake and Minnehaha. And as we all know, for 3 years, it has remained as is, surrounded by cement barriers, wrapped in barbed wire, and sits as a charred reminder of the murdering of George Floyd that stemmed the uprising that resulted in the building looking as it is now. And since the destruction of the 3rd Precinct building, residents and business owners have wanted answers from the city, but the city hasn't provided those.
We had Humvees in our neighborhood and soldiers, like many of the other neighborhoods nearby. Our neighborhood has 7,500 people. Our neighborhood group board made the following resolution. We oppose relocating a 3rd precinct at either 3,000 Minnehaha or 2,600 Minnehaha Avenues, and request that the City of Minneapolis pilot new ideas for the delivery of public safety services in the 3rd Precinct, including but not limited to a decentralized approach to housing the 3rd Precinct staff.
If we're going to move forward with this process, and we actually want to hear the different opinions of the different people who are directly affected by this precinct, and we want to hear the opinions and the voices of people who have to live in this area and be under this kind of policing that's continually being done in this area, then I think we should meet people where they are so that they're able to share their input, and we're not just expecting people to take time out of their day with no incentives but have their lives drastically changed.
We cannot consent to a decision for which we've had no context or background, as we have no opportunity to genuinely understand the implications of our decisions on our present and future. Why the rush now after years of silence? We need to take the time to understand the city's need for a physical 3rd precinct, what sites have been considered, why certain sites weren't brought forward as potential locations, along with hearing constructive arguments for why locating a 3rd precinct at either of the 2 proposed sites has positive impacts for our community.
Keep watching CBS News Minnesota for continuing coverage.